Welcome to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower, where we do our best to give you useful information in 20 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, 5-time Voice Arts Awards nominee, David Brower.
Thanks, Alan. This is David Brower with your 20-minute podcast. Our special guest today from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is Brady Novotny. And Brady started playing the guitar at the age of 10, and then somewhere along the way, he got his master's in psychology and went back to the guitar. And hey, Brady, welcome to the show, man. Good to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me on. Thanks to be
Absolutely, here. Absolutely. So you've got some music out there. You've got your one song, "Redemption's Cry." Mm-hmm. I listened to that. Your wife is an amazing singer. Oh my God! And so the combination of you two on that, plus the video, was just haunting. It was so good, so good.
Oh, thank you.
And you're getting some airplay on that, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Well, let's talk about how you started playing the guitar at age 10, and how did that go or not go for you?
Sure. I always wanted to play the guitar, and one day I long story short, I was cleaning out my uncle's apartment, and he left his guitar behind. And my grandmother looked at me and said, "Do you want it?" And I said, "Yeah." And so from that day forward, I just kept on playing the guitar and taking lessons for most of my life, and so yeah, it's been quite a journey, but it's something I really enjoy.
Nice. So, were you self-taught in the beginning, or did you start lessons right away, or how did that?
Yeah.
How did the bug bite you, I guess?
Back then, there was no YouTube or anything like that. So,
right. Yeah.
The only way you had to learn was to go to a lesson. So. My parents signed me up, and, I've been pretty much taking lessons ever since then. Well, I was learning and everything.
Right.
And then I became a teacher myself, so, and taught for many years and was giving back what I learned.
Isn't that great? I love when you can pay it forward and giving back. And so when you were a teacher, were you a guitar instructor?
Yes.
And then somewhere along the line, you got your master's in psychology, and so you're also a licensed professional counselor. And so both those occupations really kind of take over your creative side of your brain, don't they?
Yeah. Actually, a lot of musicians are interested in psychology. I was surprised to find out. And it's that whole feelings and, empathy and, all that stuff. You have that side of the brain that's really feeling oriented. So music falls right into that category. So yeah.
Oh, it sure does. The life as a therapist, I'm thinking I don't know this for sure, but I'm thinking some of those stories ended up in songs somewhere along the way.
Well, I feel that a lot of my music is, at least it was for me, it was a healing element. When you do counseling, for a living, you realize, everybody has problems.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And you start to hear about it and you start to see things differently. But I wanted to put my music something that was, healing for the soul. And at least for me, the guitar and all the various guitars I put into my music, with electric and acoustic and all that stuff, that meant that, it was really cathartic for me. So hopefully it reaches other people in the same way. And, I had, my mother passed away a few years ago, so I wrote a song to her. And so, there's a lot of emotion into that record.
You bet. Well, and I think the key word is emotion, right? I mean, you've felt the emotion as a 10-year-old kid of what a guitar means to you just out of the blue. And for whatever reason, who knows why, who cares why, that emotion has carried you through, coming in and out of the guitar, coming in and out of college, coming in and out of being a guitar instructor. But the emotions the emotions change, but the emotion's always been a part of your life, it feels like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you said, that all those situations in life change, but the emotions you always remember how somebody makes you feel.
Right. Right.
So, and I think that's important. That's why we like certain artists, and we like, that we hear an interview or we hear a song and we say, we really connect with them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why, we become fans,
Well, exactly. And I think the other part of it is because our world is so helter-skelter, with apologies to Charles Manson, it's like we're in this immediate gratification thing. We want something now. We want it 5 minutes from now. We want it 10 seconds from now. And sometimes we don't take the time to feel the emotion of music. I mean, there's certainly millions of people that do, but I think the people that are just going nuts in their business, man, they are missing out on some real opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Where you can sit and just listen to the silence and or enjoy the wind, the breeze, the sun. We lost a lot of that, and that's when the days when we used to put a record on the record player. You actually had to do some work to hear that song.
I know, right?
Now it's pretty quick.
It is pretty quick. Yeah, absolutely. But it's interesting that vinyl's coming back.
It is.
And has been for a few years. So I find that fascinating that good music, no matter where it comes from, no matter where it's generated. People who love music, and they're going to go where the music is. And so to have vinyl come back that's awesome.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah,
right? Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is your music out on vinyl, or how do you distribute it?
Right now, I have it out on digital platforms, but also CD as well. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The vinyl thing is, from what I'm told, it has to be under a certain length in order to be on vinyl. So I think my album is like 4 minutes over that length.
Oh my gosh! Seriously.
So that's why back in the day they used to have all these double albums and stuff like that.
Right.
So because it couldn't fit.
Well, yeah. The Beatles. What was it? The Beatles' White Album was 3-minute songs and 12-minute songs. There's just
right.
They figured out a creative way to let the music play, and so that's interesting. I didn't know that. So are you writing songs ongoing?
I always have my phone with me, my iPhone, and when inspiration hits or if I'm noodling and something comes up, I always record it. But I hope to start the follow-up record here at the end of summer. So looking forward to getting back, because you got to keep on recording music. That's the name of the game.
It is, huh? It is. At some level, you'd like to think it's not a numbers game, but at some level it really is, right? You got to keep it going, yeah. Someone
said that there's over 40,000 songs uploaded to Spotify every day or something.
Oh, my God.
That's
terrifying.
Yeah. So the music is a day.
Wow. When you were talking about your iPhone, it reminded me of Darden Smith from Austin, because there is not a sentence that goes by or a person that walks by where he doesn't hear a hook for a song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. That's
neat. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Yeah. So how did your latest record, Redemption's Cry, the lyrics are just, oh my God. You've got to listen. You got to watch the video, folks. In fact, with your permission, I'm going to end our show a little bit short, so I can add that song to our podcast, because it's just so amazing, so amazing. Mm-hmm. So, how did that come about?
Well, it was one of those same things. I went down to my little studio and just kind of noodling around, and all of a sudden, this melody came out of nowhere. So I grabbed my iPhone and, just push record and just continue to play. And the song kind of wrote itself, actually was catching up with what was going on in my head. So it was a unique experience. So, and then so the lyrics came about, the guy who plays drums, he writes lyrics. I kind of told him what I want. Mm-hmm. And, he crafted the words and we put it together, and there it is. So it was
magic. It just...
Yeah, it was.
I love that when it just shows up, right?
Very quickly, too.
Very quickly. Yeah, when you least expect it, all of a sudden Here's the chord. Here's the music. Oh, by the way, can you add the lyrics? Okay, here we go. And then your wife sings it. I mean, that's like the trifecta right there. That's just
right.
That's amazing,
nice.
man. Yeah,
it was nice. Yeah, absolutely.
So, are you touring much, or what are you doing to promote your music?
Right now, we are playing, doing some local stuff. Actually, this Friday or not tomorrow, but the following week, May 10th, we are actually having the CD, what they call the album release party. So we're doing it at the Hard Rock Cafe in Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
And so we're going to play the entire record and have some other songs for some fun and do some stories. And so it's going to be an evening of stories and music. And then June 5th here in Pittsburgh, I'll be opening up for, there's a guitar player. He's a big guitar player. His name's Paul Gilbert. So I'm opening up for him here. And then throughout the summer, there's a couple other gigs. I try not to play every weekend. I don't want to oversaturate the area right now.
Yeah.
Just kind of play around in certain spots. But we're going to eventually broaden our and go tri-state, and then we'll see what happens.
Nice. The hard rock thing just sounds fascinating. I mean, I'd like to jump on a plane and go watch, go watch that. To have the opportunity to hear your whole album live, and then stories and other songs. And so how long are you going to be at the Hard Rock doing this type of show? It's fascinating to me.
It'll probably be like an hour and a half show.
Yeah.
So, with all the talking and all the stuff, so and I'll probably do a little bit of acoustic stuff, and
nice,
because I do a little flamenco thing. So, so we're going to make it just real intimate. Well, it's going to be a full band, but by that, really just we're going to play a song or two songs, and then I'm going to talk, and be a little bit more open about my past and stuff that growing up, and as far as musically, and some of the earlier bands I was in, and
nice.
How this music came out to be, and stuff like that. So really kind of just sharing some stories that maybe nobody's heard.
Are you going to do a Facebook Live? Are you going to air it?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some people doing Facebook Live for that.
Yeah.
Nothing professional, but
well, no, but it's about hearing the music. So I want to check that out. That'll be
yeah.
That's a goosebump kind of moment there when you can share that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when's your next album going to be ready to fly? Do you know?
Well, hopefully, like I said, have something, at least an EP of some sort, by the end of the year, or by February of next year. So
nice.
That's the hope. So that would, because I released this album in February, so I figured I have a year's time to,
The other thing I love about your story is that you not only love what you do, you're passionate about what you do, you love to share what you do, but you're also being very patient and very deliberate about what you do. So you're not overextending yourself in ways that might detract from your friends and family and those kinds of things. It feels like you're on a wonderful pace, the way you're growing your music.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, but someone told me, it's you can only take the opportunity that's in front of you, and
right.
then go from there.
That's right.
You can't really plan for a world tour when you don't know what's going to happen. So,
yeah, for sure.
But, if that happens, that would be great.
Bring it.
Yeah, sure. But we cross that bridge when you come to it.
That's it. So folks,
you still have to pay the mortgage.
Yeah, right. So check out Brady at BradyNovotny.com. That's Brady Novotny NOVOTNY.com. He's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. He's got a YouTube channel, and we're gonna finish up this podcast with your song.
Great, awesome.
You're back on that road again. Seems like the only way. Sending flares from this broken hell you're in. Reaching like you're on your own, all alone, and the world won't set you free. Won't you come around and hear my passion cry, and you'll see you in my eyes, longing for you, waiting for you. Here I am. Will you hear redemption's cry? I'm here for you. My arms are open Ransom, to you it's a mystery, but if it's up to me, I'd set you free to bleed on your history. Won't you come around and hear my passion cry, and you'll see you in my eyes, still longing for you, waiting for you. Here I am. Will you hear redemption's cry? I'm here for you. My arms are open wide. Here I am. Oh, please hear redemption's cry. Now love is up to you. Please hear redemption's cry.
So Redemption's Cry with Brady Novotny right here on your 20-minute podcast with David Brower. Brady, thanks so much, man.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Listen to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower on the go. Downloads are available on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any podcast app, and on our website at davidbrowervo.com/your20minute podcast. Until next time, thank you for listening.